Hey guys, what's up? It's coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And today I have for ya not much, not too much. We have all the windows open in the car right now, and so the audio will probably be worse than usual, than like it should be. But that just kind of is what it is, really. Can't really do too much about it. Um, my comfort comes first. Schla's comfort definitely comes first. So, no, maybe I'll just shut him now. That's no good of a sound. But anyways, yeah. So we made it. We made it through another week. It's hard to believe, but it wasn't a bad week at all. I actually, like I said, I kind of feel like the second wind is here. Like, I feel like we had reached the bottom. I don't even really understand what happened, but it's been relatively easy waking up the past couple days overall. I've had more energy. Now, I don't know how sustainable this will be. Like, that all remains to be seen, right? But at least for the time being, I'm just describing how I'm feeling right now, and it's definitely like, I mean, the past few months, I'm almost going to call the months of misery because that's really what it felt like. I mean, it was a lot of days of, it was just difficult to wake up. It was like rough. I mean, really, and for some reason this week it's been like a brighter situation. It's really been a nice bright situation. So, yeah, like I said, I don't have anything to complain about really. There's not a whole lot that's been up that's been going on or anything like that. So, happy to be here, happy to be talking and all that stuff. There's just not much else. There's not really too much else to even think about or consider, but yeah, we're in relatively good spirits, and like I almost that's like what I wonder today. I wonder if like I'm gonna be hitting a manic episode or something. But I kind of had more of an optimistic thought today, and that optimistic thought is actually, what if this whole thing that I've been dealing with, um, what if this whole thing that I've been dealing with, um, in terms of thinking I'm got a mania or whatever, what if it's all going to get cleared up through some kind of like eventual development? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's an interesting thought, honestly, is that, I've kind of had these swings, these ups and downs, but what if eventually I'm going to come through better? Because so far, like I have, as life has progressed, I go through those cycles, but if you think about it, my this past depressive episode has been the best yet. Like actually try to like quantify it. I still made it to work every single day, and I still always did my car rides with Schla. I mean, I never skipped car rides with Schla unless, it was that situation again where I didn't wake up early enough and I just had to like eat. So I only missed a few. Still showed up for every car rides with Schla. Now, granted, they weren't all like flawless episodes, but not really sure what the expectation would even be for that, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I've showed up. I've muscled through and done, like, I had like a bit of a mania to push me here. I'm assuming that's evident based on some of my like original recordings. Because again, at some point I should be able to get like a pretty decent diagnosis based on the recordings as to what the problem is. But anyways, I had this mania boost that got me to where I'm at, and then I basically, where I'm at now, it's yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, but like, so over my life though, like during each mania, there was like some kind of new learned experience. Or actually, I'm not even going to say that. I honestly think most of my life was just, to me at least, it seemed like a bunch of nonsense until this last mania. You know, I almost wonder if I just experienced what I did for the only reason of, like, I just wonder if I just experienced the things that I experienced just for one reason, and it was to be given some kind of a imprint of things, because like I was describing this morning, I feel that way. My stress about money, but then like really I think a majority of people in my situation probably wouldn't have been that stressed about money. So why was I stressed about money? Why did I care so much about, again, like a lot of humanitarian things, like people living in poverty and trying to design systems that are more efficient? Um, a lot of these things, like people in my situation just have no reason to care about. So the fact that I had those kind of strange obsessive thoughts, it shaped me to who I am. But the thing is, I was still given and have been given enough of a financial fortune to, I don't think I've been given enough to lose it, but I've been given enough within my mental framework to where I think it's just been a good amount to what this story is unfolding as. And so I'm assuming that's kind of why, again, like in retrospect, it just seems like a bunch of nonsense. I mean, I really feel like I wasted my time. I'm not really sure what I gained from all that. I'm just not really sure, like I want to say I gained a lot, but I don't really think I gained much from, the manic episode where I'm like eating every other day, fasting, and then like having these like giant meals, and then um what else was I doing? Like trying to avoid sleeping, barely sleeping, walking excessive periods of time, like walking excessive amounts. I don't really see what that did that really has like affected me positively. If anything, it's affected me like negatively, presumably. Like if I hadn't had gone through that, I probably would be better off. But yeah, so cyclically speaking, I don't even know that I think about the past all that much. Like I don't know, but I have a feeling going through those experiences, like it probably has affected me. The craziness that I've done, like I don't, even if I'm not aware of it, because that's kind of what I'm saying. Like I think it's likely that it's still affecting my just like perspectives on things and my takes on things, even if I'm not consciously thinking about the past or experiences. And it's really interesting because I guess that time period has been sort of hidden in my mind. And then in addition to that, well, there's just been no reason to bring it up. I mean, I'm working, I'm busy, I'm obviously trying to enjoy life, I'm trying to think critically about things. And so I'm not really thinking a whole lot about my past. It has not really been on my mind. So there's some food for thought. But yeah, I think it's true. Like, I just don't know that I would have had as much to say. But maybe there's something kind of interesting about that. How it's like some guy just comes out of nowhere and all of a sudden, I'm just like talking and I have this show and it's very like proficient and good or whatever. All of a sudden, I have the gift of gab when it's like, if any of y'all knew, um, if any of y'all had known me when I was in school, like, nobody really thought too much of me. Like, I think, like, nobody would have thought that. I don't think any of my friends, and I don't think anybody thought I would be good at talking, and I think that's something that's gonna be very satisfying, you know, just like seeing people's reaction. I mean, people probably aren't even gonna remember me. Like, and that's again, that's like the irony of it. It's like, oh, I'm like famous and stuff, it's like talking back to my like on some interview, yeah, like this was the school I went to, what's good? And then people are gonna be like, I don't even remember that guy. Or some people might be like, oh, I think I remember that guy. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. I mean, it's just interesting because I really have not been given the ability to be much of anything until now. Like it's so weird how like my whole life I basically was prevented from being myself, and then like totally out of nowhere it was just boom, could just be myself. Boom. Like started working. I don't make a ton of money, but I don't have to pay rent. So that kind of adds up to essentially like being pretty solidly middle class at this point. Um, and yeah, like I've had my own like it's just totally changed. Like I feel like I've really been allowed to become my own person in these past just this past year really, just these past 2 years. Like I've really been able to develop and kind of pursue my own paths and beliefs and things like that. And yeah, I don't know, it's like it's an interesting thing, right? I have been thinking about the lot though and noticing I think things have kind of changed. As much as I love to be social, like I'm really wanting to set up like an efficient routine where I can spend more time recording. I know I had that as like a outlook and all. And it's just people for some reason like they're still just not satisfying to me. And it's because nobody really wants to delve into the depth that I'm at. Like, anytime I try, it just doesn't work. Like, people just can't do it or they can't figure it out for some reason. So, I think it's like really strange and very frustrating because I want to have people to socialize with, and it's just like never really ends up happening for some reason. So, yeah, I don't know. Dude, whoa. I was like I was gonna turn in, and this guy just was like sped way right into me for absolutely no reason. Anyways. Yeah, like there has to be some kind of a story that's being told. I don't see why else things would have happened the way they did. Because it's totally possible I could have just lived like a normal life. And I've already said before, I don't think I'd be doing this right now. Like if I hadn't struggled in the way I did, there's so many things that happened that led me, like I resisted doing this so badly. I resisted it so much. Do you know how many people told me like I should start a podcast, I should do a podcast? I mean, I resisted it. I resisted. I didn't want to become a content creator. I wanted friends. That was my whole thing. Like I didn't see what was special about fame. And I resisted it. So the fact that I'm here and it's been this consistent, like that has to mean something to me. Like I don't know what else to take of it. Like it has to mean something, you know? Like I'm serious. Because I know, knowing myself, that the dreams and aspirations that I had, they probably just wouldn't have came back. I would have had no reason for them to come back. Because even now, like, it's kind of going outside of my comfort zone. And I'm especially getting tired of uploading stuff. So, I mean, how do you, like, of course, I would still be doing this, you know, if it were up to me. If I had, like, the easy life where I got a job early, had things super secure, had a bunch of money saved up, had everything I wanted, like, I just think I would have been a lot happier and, like, I don't know. I don't think I would have been as deep as I am now. But there's, like, certain events that happened in my life that they cause depth. You know, they cause a depth in the way my mind reacted to the kind of like odd situations I got myself into. A lot came of that. Sorry, I'm just, I mean, it's not a silence that's a bad thing. It's just, I just feel like being silent. Like I'm thinking about some of the stuff I'm saying, just processing stuff. But yeah, I think relatively speaking, again, I'm in better spirits now. Kind of finally getting some kind of a, more of a push. And it was just rough for a while. It just was. But I feel like, I want to try to reel in a little bit because it's obviously, I can't really say for certain I wouldn't have came to the same conclusion, but I'm pretty sure like if I had just happened to meet good friends on Discord, like I would have never been that into this recording stuff because I really do love people, and I just feel like that would have been a priority. I don't really see how I would have ever like I basically feel like I was fighting with God for like years because I really wanted friends. But that's just not like I don't even I think where I'm at now it's just better because it's kind of accepting that for what I want with what I was trying to get out of people, like it just wasn't happening. Like this is what I wanted, when I went on Discord and expected friends. This is what I wanted, but it obviously never happened. It obviously never actually manifested. So what better about it now is I at least am getting a lot of the depth that I want to talk about out on a microphone, and then I do have AI as a correspondent. And then at least recently there has been some decent outlets for me socially as well, and I just don't get as deep with those. I don't get as deep. You know what I mean? Like it's and since I have this outlet of recording, it's actually good cuz I get a lot off my chest that I wouldn't have got off my chest otherwise. So that's kind of the whole point, you know? But I'm happy. I'm happy that the weekend is here, and next week is the easier week. It's only 2 late days. So, to me, that's so chill. It's so chill. And, just trying to use that time a little bit better. Because I mean, for a while it was like I was like too exhausted to do anything, but I'm getting a little bit more of a drive, a little bit. I don't want to get like it's I don't know that I'm like really recovered yet. Like I don't know how much I'm going to get done today, but I'm saying like there's some kind of a drive back that's been gone for months. It was like horrible. So, yeah, I just I don't know. There's a lot I got to work on, but like I said, it doesn't feel as bad. Now again, I mean, we're tracking this. I don't know how long this is going to last. I mean, I could it's like next Monday I'm like coming on like, "Hey guys, I don't know what I was talking about." You know what I mean? Like that's entirely possible. So, definitely don't get your hopes up about that. Definitely don't get your hopes up about that. But yeah, it was I don't know. So like that's the takeaways. It was a good week. It was definitely a good week. And I don't really know. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting those like silences, but I even think too with the episodes, I don't know if it's probably noticeable too, like I've had just more to say. It's kind of just been like a good kind of feeling, whereas for a while it just, wasn't really all that. Um, I'm still kind of annoyed about the microphone situation. Like, I really want to get the better microphone, and it's just like, it's kind of ticking me off that I'm not. The one I want, like, there's not really, it's kind of hard to get your hands on. So, I'm just kind of stuck waiting around for it, but should be pretty soon that like I don't think it should be like missing for too much longer. Yeah, I really wish I could record my thoughts. Like, it's just such a shame that that is not available yet. I feel like that with a lot of things. There's so many things that, you know, I, it's like the technology is just not there yet for what I want to do. And then of course you have other people where it's like tech is already past what they even want to do. Like, so that's kind of frustrating because it's just like, you know, I guess that's just how it is, but I don't know. It just I end up thinking about a lot of things like I don't really want disclosed yet necessarily, and so that's kind of yeah, like in, it just happens too. I'm still, though I will vent my frustrations about the microphone. Like, I want the better microphone setup. I do. And it's a shame. Like, I could just buy it. I probably should. But, I'm just a little bit leery to do that. So, try to figure something out. I think I will next week. So, and then again, it should be a pretty decent quality boost. It should be a pretty decent quality boost. It'll be a lot more complication, like it'll be harder on my end to actually do the recording, so that's not really too great for myself, but that's nothing that you guys have to look into or anything. That's not on your concern. That it's gonna be just as easy for you guys to listen. It's gonna be just as easy for you guys to listen. You guys aren't gonna have to do any more work. You're just gonna get the benefit of like potentially some really good quality audio. I mean, this is already sufficient, I feel like, but it could be better. And at first, I really wasn't trying to do it, but again, now we're like, when was I really thinking about it? I mean, it's been a while because I'm saying it's been 9 months since May, so it's probably been like 7 months, and I obviously have like a decent amount more money saved up, so it's not really as big of a deal now. And then I already have like a lot of the stuff I want to get, so I think at the time it was just like a lot to be blowing. Like, I mean, I'm probably gonna have to spend like at least $500. It's probably like 500 to 1,000 for the microphone and the interface to get like, again, I mean, like the best, just the best that you can get really for what I'm trying to do for like an in-car recording, trying to get something with sound isolation, stuff like that. It's going to be in the range of 500 to 1,000. It depends on how good of a deal I get on things and kind of exactly what I decide to do. But yeah, within that. And I think back then it just kind of seemed like a lot, especially because again, like there was a lot less in my bank account, and I also hadn't even had my. Oh, there was a lot of things like I would have wanted to prioritize, honestly, selfishly, because again, in retrospect now, I wish I would have just done it. There's a lot of things I ended up buying that were like silly, and it's like I should have just got the better equipment. But I think at the time, again, I was still kind of squeamish about if I'd even end up lasting this long or not, which obviously now I have. So there's not really much of a concern about that anymore. And I'm just trying to move forward. So, anyways, it's been schla, and now it's time to buy schla. So, see ya schla.